What's up, guys? Coach Chris here for our first edition of Monday Minute. Okay, moving forward, we're going to bring this to you every Monday, and it could be a video about our current training programs. It could be anything performance related. Okay, nutrition, sleep, recovery, hydration, anything along the performance spectrum to try to help better educate and inform you guys on what we're doing to maximize our ability as athletes, right? But today we'll spend a minute or two talking about our current training program for the summer, which is adapted from a periodization scheme called TriPhasic training, okay? And of course, we want to give credit where credit is due, all right? This is adapted from Coach Cal Dietz and Coach Ben Peterson, okay? Both formerly of the University of Minnesota, Coach Dietz still at Minnesota, as well as USA Hockey, and Coach Peterson with the San Francisco 49ers at this time, okay? So looking at what we're working on right now, which is the eccentric block, which will be 2 to 3 weeks, depending on our report date, July, August, okay? But when we look at any dynamic compound functional movement, okay, or isolated movement like a bicep curl, but if we think about a dynamic compound movement like a squat, a bench press, okay, sprinting, running, jumping, right, there's always 3 phases, okay? And the first phase, which we're working on currently, is called the eccentric portion, all right? And that is when we're loading, okay, creating length and stretch. There's tension, but we're creating length and tension through load, okay? So the way down on a squat, the way down on a bench, way down going to jump, right? At the bottom, or in between the eccentric and concentric, we have what's called the isometric or amortization phase, okay? And that simply could be a fraction of a second, it could be multiple seconds, but that's when we're transferring the eccentric force and load absorption into the concentric force expression, okay, or the explode. So when we go to throw a bench, explode on a squat, explode on a jump, okay, push through the ground on a sprint, that's our concentric movement or dynamic explosive movement, right? So let's take a hypothetical. Okay, we have athlete A and athlete B, whatever movement you want to think about, squat, bench, deadlift, they have the same 1 repetition max, okay, 225 pounds, 315, whatever it is. They can express the same amount of absolute force or maximal strength. However, if we look at athlete A, okay, power on the y-axis, time on the x, it takes athlete A longer, looking at time, right? It takes athlete A longer to load and absorb their force, okay? Therefore, you can't necessarily see it, but most likely longer to isometrically reverse, okay, that force through the amortization phase, and therefore longer to concentrically express that force, okay? And this is thinking about, could be a max strength movement, but more so a sprint, a cut, a jump, okay, something explosive. That time is of the essence, right? Then we look at athlete B. That time frame is condensed, okay? So they eccentrically absorb the force better and faster, therefore they transfer it and express it better and faster, okay? And max strength is great, right? But in sport, we want to transfer to the field, the court, wherever it is, right? We want to maximize our strength, but minimize the time it takes to express that strength, okay? So that's, in a nutshell, what this program is about, okay? Improving each component of our dynamic compound, primarily movements, to therefore be able to express the force and the strength that we build better and faster, okay? So I know that was a lot. I hope that makes sense. It was definitely more than a minute. All right, but tune in every Monday, guys. We'll bring more to you about programs or otherwise. And as you know, please reach out any questions, comments, concerns. We're here to help however we can, okay? Thanks, guys.